The Federal Drug Enforcement Agency is launching a new effort to fight the opioid epidemic here in Knoxville. The DEA launched the 360 strategy today. It moves the DEA beyond its normal law enforcement role and creates partnerships with community organizations. That means the DEA and other agencies will be working together on prevention and education efforts. Knoxville is one of only 13 cities in this program. 10 News reporter Cole Sullivan shows us how the agency hopes it will cut down on opioid deaths here. Cole.
Robin, the DEA picked Knoxville as a pilot city for the 360 program because of how serious an issue the opioid crisis is here. It's only been 6 weeks.
It's a horrible thing that it's so hard to overcome.
Since Karen Price lost her 21-year-old son, Grayson.
He always had a smile. He always messed with people, making them laugh.
The dirt on his grave is fresh. His tombstone hasn't even arrived yet.
Crying a lot, praying a lot. I became depressed.
He died of a suspected overdose, one of more than 200 in Knox County so far this year.
It crosses every boundary. It crosses every boundary. And there's so many heartaches.
Heartaches that a new DEA program is trying to stop.
Well, it's different to us from the DEA perspective. Like, we haven't done anything like this before.
It's a full court press. The mayor, the DA, the medical examiner, religious leaders, representatives from hospitals and treatment centers, the list goes on. But the goal is the same.
Our community needs to continue to mobilize the all-hands-on-deck approach as we battle this epidemic.
For law enforcement, it means moving beyond arrests and probation to focus on treatment and education.
We look at the cartels and the drug traffickers who are selling the drugs and pushing the drugs out to the community, where this actually allows us to maybe work with the family members who are being affected by it a little bit more.
A 360 strategy aimed at stopping a problem that sometimes seems unstoppable.
If there was an easy way to prevent it, oh my gosh, yes, that would solve everything. But I just don't know how you can.
The DEA is hoping that by partnering with so many community organizations, they can flood the zone and get everyone on the same page, uniting forces to address the opioid epidemic here. Robin?
Certainly takes everyone coming together. Cole, thank you very much.